What's happened since the last time I was on this podcast? In a nutshell, I quit my job, lost $70,000 worth of investments, and I regret nothing. In today's podcast, I share with you why.
Welcome to the Thrivantgarde podcast. I'm Veena. I believe that you can have a career break without breaking the bank or killing your career. I'm here to support you in designing your ideal career break for your sustained career health.
Hey, how are you doing? I'm sure you noticed a few changes around here. And I want to thank you, especially if you've been with us since the very beginning when this podcast was called Thrivantgarde and it was aimed at my university students. Today, this podcast is called Thrivantgarde. It's a portmanteau of the words thrive and avant-garde. I want you to know that you can thrive going through a career break if that's what you desire. It opens up a portal of possibilities where you evolve into the next version of you. In its previous life, this podcast was called Thrivantgarde, and it was centered on workplace readiness. But today, I'm on my third career break. I contemplated about starting a brand new podcast, but I thought it might be more meaningful if I were to build upon where I left off so that you can see these two different phases of my career journey, which was when I was working, when it was called Thrivantgarde, and now when I'm on a career break, which is when it's called Thrivantgarde. So come along with me as I evolve. This is a different version of me from my past self, slightly different, an avant-garde version, if you will. I decided to relaunch this podcast because I've been meeting some of my former students. Some of them are on contract-based jobs, which are of a defined duration. Some are working on their first job and are feeling a little bit ambivalent about their place in the working world. Some are thinking of taking a break before landing their next job, instead of taking the classic route where you get another job before completing your current one. So if any of these scenarios describe you too, then this podcast is also for you. The pace of change in the workplace has been accelerating. Like new skills are needed all the time and new markets are being explored. This means that there is going to be breaks and transitions along our career journey. There are a lot of resources out there to help you stay in or get into the workforce. But I think that people who are going on career breaks are underserved. So if you are contemplating going on a career break, I hope that this podcast serves as a resource for you. No longer are people working in the same job or even in the same industry throughout their whole working lives. Within my own circle, I have been hearing many stories about those intending to make career changes. I have a friend who's moving from the education industry into artisanal baking, another friend who's moving from the fashion industry into education, and these are just two stories out of many. Career breaks and career transitions bring about so much anxiety. So I thought I can share with you some lessons that I picked up taking 3 career breaks throughout my working life. And I hope that they are going to be useful to you. My current lifestyle during this third career break is supported by my investments. So it's a career break that can be sustained without a job. I intended it this way because I'm all too familiar with the anxiety of money worries if I don't have active income coming from a job. I don't want to be bullied back into full-time work just because my money fears are screaming at me so much louder than my need for rest and spaciousness in my life. So I've designed my third career break as a perpetual career break that will give me the choice about if and when I want to re-enter the working world. So why restart the podcast now, more than 2 years after embarking on my third career break? I feel like now is the best time to do so because my financial strategies in funding my third career break has been stress tested over one full market cycle. Now, it's one thing to experience a market downturn when you're still earning income from your job, and quite another to be experiencing it when you no longer have income from a job. I left my job near the height of the post-pandemic stock market euphoria. That didn't last long. So months later, after I left my job, Mr. Market got in a really foul mood. So I found myself running smack into the financial Armageddon of 2022, where both the value of my stocks fell as well as my bonds. I was, what the? Thankfully, I knew enough not to sell off anything. So as I speak today, Mr. Market is in a really fantastic mood, and overall the value of my investments have risen. So having had my financial strategies in funding my third career break, being stress tested, taken a beating, and recovered, I thought I would have more robust experiences, stories, and tips to share with you. I don't regret going on any of my 3 career breaks. I think that they hold a lot of value, not just for myself, but for future employers too. And here's 5 reasons why. The first is more aligned professional development. This is ironic, but a career break offers you the chance to be more valuable to your next employer. You can deepen your skills or professional development because a career break offers you the spaciousness to deepen your skills or further your education. You can pick up new skills by engaging in courses, workshops, or volunteer work that will help you to deepen your expertise in the areas related to your passion and interests. And this is a win-win for both you and your next employer. My first 2 career breaks were crucial in helping me to redirect my career from a teacher teaching an academic subject in a junior college to a lecturer facilitating learning related to life skills. I did volunteer work such as nature guiding and got involved in diversity dialogues. Those activities allowed me to become more comfortable with engaging with people of different walks of life and also draw out conversations, even as an introvert. I would never have been able to make a move from teaching in a junior college to teaching in a tertiary institutions without those skills. I was doing so many workshops during my second career break. They're so diverse. It's on drawing, oil painting, improvisational theater, storytelling. But all these activities allowed me to learn and develop new modalities so that I engage students in my lessons. I was merely following the thread of my curiosity throughout all these different activities. And I found it so amazing that eventually they led me on to new career opportunities. Another reason why a career break benefits employers is that upon return to the workforce, a potential employee has increased motivation and enthusiasm. During my second career break, I enjoyed it so much that I was wondering how I can plan for another career break without me being worried about going back to work. I stumbled upon the Financial Independence Retire Early or FIRE movement and then discovered that the math and the financial strategies are the same in helping me to plan for a perpetual career break. That way, I don't have to be worried about money running out and being desperate to go back to work after a career break. By then, I already had a taste of doing flexible work and have had the pleasure of working with really amazing, inspiring, wonderful bosses and colleagues who I was very happy to work with. So I wasn't anti-work per se, but I really wanted to plan for a future where I have the flexibility about if and when I want to return to the working world. It took a while for me to wrap my head around the math, but eventually I figured out how much I need to accumulate in my nest egg to fund a long-term career break. So when I re-entered the working world after my second career break, I was off to the races. During the school vacation, I wasn't taking holidays. I did projects such as bringing students on overseas trips and doing workshops for other teachers. I also took on night classes on top of my regular teaching hours and job responsibilities. I was extremely motivated to do well in my job so that I have a higher chance of getting bonuses. Whatever opportunity that I was given to do extra and progress in my role, I took it on. It sounds so exhausting, but you know what? I had so much fun. I was energized to go to work, especially since my former bosses and my colleagues are so awesome to work with. It was really satisfying for me to devote myself to work and going all in. The third benefit of taking a career break is improved finances. Again, another irony, right? We think that a career break is gonna wreak havoc on our finances because we are no longer earning a regular income from our job. But if we look at it from a long-term perspective, it can provide the time for us to pick up new skills such as learning how to track our expenses, saving, and investing. These are not taught in schools, right? So for many of us, we will have to pick up these skills sometime during our working lives, and a career break is the prime time to do this. As I mentioned, during my second career break, I got crystal clear about what I wanted my future career break to look like and how much it was going to cost me. I don't think I would have had the bandwidth or the headspace to dive deep into my numbers, but I really wouldn't have been able to handle all of it if not for the spaciousness that a career break offers me so that I can go through this roller coaster of how the process makes me feel. The fourth benefit of how a career break can benefit you is a lifestyle upgrade. A career break offers you a chance to improve your lifestyle. For me, it was about my physical health. When I was working, emotional eating forms a big part of how food lands in my mouth. When I'm stressed out, I eat. When there is some transition time between meetings and lessons, I snack. During this career break, I spent time learning about nutrition and learning how to cook. I also got more in tune with myself to become more aware of the triggers that lead to emotional eating. In the past, when I was working, I'm always postponing exercising. But today, walks are a regular feature of my days, and I started working with a personal trainer. I have a long way to go, but I'm trying to be better at taking care of myself and being more intentional about my physical health. The fifth benefit of a career break is improved well-being. A career break offers the opportunity to rest, recuperate, and recharge. It's hard to attend to all areas of our well-being, especially when we have demanding jobs. A career break is a fantastic pause that allows us to attend to some areas of life that we have neglected. If you want to have a quick snapshot of how well you're doing, I invite you to take a look at the Special Wellness Web. It offers a holistic overview of different dimensions of our wellness, which includes S, spirituality, P, physical, E, economic, C, connection, I, intellectual, A, affective, L stands for life. Not coincidentally, it spells special because all of us have different needs in different seasons of our lives, which affect our relationship to our jobs all along our career journey. You can find it as part of the Confident Career Breaker Guide, and the link is found in the show notes below. Today, I shared with you 5 reasons why a career break is beneficial not just for ourselves, but also for employers. But is a career break accessible to everyone? I believe so, although I acknowledge that there are certain circumstances which makes it easier for one person to go on one as opposed to another. So that's what we'll be diving into more next week. So come join me. Rooting for you always.